All right, we're going to do some Q&A, so we can run up the house lights a bit. Ah, gorgeous people in the crowd tonight. Just beautiful. Really.
So many people's faces are like, oh, why?
Nuh-uh, you bought tickets knowing this was going to happen, so suck it up. Okay. Right up front, yes, I didn't even have to ask. What question are we not wanting? Well, it's funny actually. It's bigger than what question don't we like to be asked. In fact, we love to be asked questions. Obviously, we love to hear ourselves talk. So, I think it's not so much that any of the questions are ever bad. We get the same ones though every single night, and so it's kind of like a game. Like I'm like, Sarah, you take it, and then Sarah's done it 3 times, and I'm like, oh, okay, my turn again, and I end up lying. So, to keep it interesting, and the most frequently asked questions are by far, by like a landslide, are, Tegan, what's your favorite Sara song? Sarah, what's your favorite Tegan song? Which is so hard because we just love each other's music. That's why we're in a band, so it's a tough one. And then like, people say like, what's your favorite movie? What's your favorite book? Those are tough because you're on the spot. You know, like we sometimes turn it around, we're like, what's your favorite movie? And the person's like, I don't know. So those ones, it's just, I think, you know, deep down inside you know, just want to be asked different questions, but it's impossible for you people to know. So that was a good question. You have another question? Oh. You have one for the audience? Oh. Oh, you were doing it as an ambassador for the audience so that you aren't a bad audience? Oh, God, thank you. Nice. Everyone, thank this young lady in front. Yeah. Really, thank you. Yes, right there.
I was just wondering, what is it like collaborating as sisters as professionals?
Well, our earliest collaboration.
Say the question.
Oh God, sorry. The question was, what is it like to collaborate as sisters and as professionals? Is that pretty accurate? Yes. Our earliest collaborations were with one another, and so strangely, until we had the experience of collaborating with other people, I really didn't have anything to compare it to. So because it was just very natural and organic, we grew up in the same house, as you might assume. And so we often would write songs separately, but then it was very natural for us to want to perform together, play, you know, we had 2 guitars and 2 voices, and so we would try to collaborate really early on. And it was very natural, and I think when we got older and we started having to work with other artists, also have a language to you know, for Tegan and I to speak to one another, and say, no, don't do that, or do this, or I was thinking you could do something like this. I mean, it was very natural for us to speak that way to one another, but when you have to start talking to other adults and tell them what you want and what you need, you develop a totally different vocabulary. So, I guess my analysis now is that, or just my opinion now is that it's much easier in some way to collaborate with Tegan because there's not as many rules, and it's so natural, and it's sort of the origin of where this all started from. So I feel very natural, and I can't even think of the last time I said to Tegan, you know, when she was creating a vocal part or a guitar part, like, you should do this or you should do that. Like, I think we very naturally fill in whatever needs to be filled in with one another. Whereas with other musicians, although it's very satisfying, it's a little bit more complicated, and it sort of feels a little bit more mathematical or something. Whereas this feels very natural, like running through a field. Bare feet.
Thank you for your question.
Thanks for
yeah.
I wanted to ask if y'all consider yourself activists, but I think I want to phrase it as I consider you activists. So what does that mean to y'all? Can y'all speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, this young lady is saying that she thinks of us as activists, so do we consider ourselves activists? The easy answer is yes, of course, absolutely. We were raised by very politically minded people. We were raised in a feminist, borderline socialist household, so my mother is a social worker, and so we grew up with a very, 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 very deep and unfortunate sometimes understanding of how bad it is for a lot of people. And obviously coming out, you know, so young, we were also faced with the task of sort of navigating the world as gay people out, you know, in the media and stuff like that. So just naturally, obviously, we've picked up picked up associations and fights along the way. So I think Sarah said it well last night, though, that we don't want to abuse our place in this world. And Sarah and I didn't start a band to become spokespeople for anyone. The band truly is about making music, but there are times where we absolutely feel like it's our duty, and then we do speak out. So, but in our personal lives, absolutely. I mean, we can sometimes be, I think, a little hard to be around because everything upsets us, and we're constantly rallying against something. And yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I think our generation is on the right track, but we've become really apathetic. And North Americans, we have it so much better than so many other countries or continents and countries. And I feel like, especially in Canada, it's been a while, like, I think since we've really had to face a lot of oppression. Like, even the minority group I am a part of, like, I don't think about gay rights when I'm here, and then I enter every other country in the world and I feel so upset and so angry and so slighted. I mean, my girlfriend is American, I spend a lot of my time there, and I'm a second-class citizen there, and it doesn't feel right. And no matter what you believe in, I'm just not a bad person, and there's no reason why I shouldn't have the same rights there, and I just can't, it blows my mind. Like, I get all tripped out, like, I'm like, whoa, like, what the hell's going on? You know, because it just seems like the world's such a great place, and it's so awesome, and we are faced with smiling faces and acceptance constantly, and then I get out in the real world and I hear people talking about us being abominations or not having the same rights, and I actually want to fly to each of those people's houses and be like, are you kidding me? Me? I'm an abomination? What? So, yeah, I'm really angry about a lot of things. Yeah, thanks for the question. Okay, someone, yeah, right there in the peach-colored shirt up top. Do you remember driver's ed?
Do you remember driver's ed? Yeah, in the Browns driver's ed.
Yeah, totally I do.
Yeah, I totally went to that with you.
Oh, did you get your driver's license? We didn't. It's rare. We still don't drive. It was so boring. Wait.
I remember you guys being all like, yeah, we're twins, we're cutting a record.
Did we say cutting a record?
I doubt we said that.
We probably were like, we're gonna be rock stars. That's so cool.
And then a couple years later, it was like,
How's your driving record? Any accidents or?
yeah, it's really shitty actually.
Really? No. Well, that's so cool. Nice to see you again. Thanks for coming to the show. That's neat. I can't believe I don't have my driver's license. Okay, right there. Oh wow, 2 questions. All right, taking liberties. Just kidding.
It's not your business.
She is, yeah.
It's iced tea. Thank you, Al.
It's iced tea. What kind of? I think is that Oban?
No, it's Lafroig.
It's like drinking like bark.
What's that?
You drank it last night. It looks like you like it.
It's my first time. What, Brad, are you around? No. Apparently he's over us. Brad told me on one of the first, we've only played with Brad and Ben a few times, 5 times, 6 times actually, to be, Brad and Ben are drums and bass, and fantastic guys, and Brad taught me some pickup lines on the first day of the tour. One of them is like this. Do you like the taste of alcohol?
It's funny.
I think that by your laughter and delighted smiles, I think it worked.
All right, another question. Yes, you right there. Yeah.
So it's a selfish question, but do you remember me? You guys gave me your pig that your grandfather made, and I used to go to your house parties in the basement.
Wow. What's her name?
Right here.
Kim, oh my god, I totally remember you.
Because you were driving, right?
Yep.
And we used to party at your house.
Yep, totally. Weird, I totally remember you. Nice to see you again too.
Yeah, you told me Brandon Ogilvy, you know?
You were friends with Brandon Ogilvy. Oh my god, I was just there I went there today, a couple hours ago.
And I still have the pig, and it's in my hair.
I gave you my piggy bank.
Yeah, and she was mad about it. Or one of you.
One of us was mad. It was gigantic too. I just never thought I'd have enough money to
Oh my
fill
god, it was pink. It was a huge, I mean, it was literally a gigantic pig.
about this big.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I was at your house, and I stayed the night, and you guys got your first shipment of shirts that night, and you gave me your first suite, or Sarah and Tegan.
Wow. Kim, it's It's so good to see you. That's so awesome. This is like I feel like there's gonna be candid camera at any point. So like all night, there's just gonna be another person popping up and be like, "Do you remember me?" I was the first guy. "Do you remember me? You rented my apartment." Is my grade 10 English teacher here? Because I would love to see him. That's so cool. That's awesome. Well, great to see you. Do you still have the peg?
Yeah, it's like right when you walk to my house. Everyone
Really? That's so neat. That would have been weird, yeah. I mean, for everyone else and for you. Oh my God, that's so cool. Great to see you again. Yes, right there in the black shirt. You had your hand up, then you put your hand down. Never mind, you in the vest.
After you guys visited India last year, do you consider going to other countries that you haven't really been to yet?
Oh yes, I mean,
Question.
I think that the question being, we've been to India, and do we want to go to other countries? And yes, the answer is yes. And I think even before we really understood what it meant to be musicians or have a career in music, what we understood was that this was an opportunity to help us get around the world and see other countries and other places. I mean, that's truly what I remember telling people, is that I wanted to be able to travel and see places. And so far, we have been to India, and we've been to Australia, we've been to Japan, we've been all over Europe, and we spend a lot of time, obviously, in Canada and America, and we love it, and it's fantastic, and I think it gives you a great perspective on what's going down in other places. You know, traditions like shoe drinking. No, but seriously, it's fantastic. It's a really exciting thing. We did go to India, and it was a tremendous experience. It was extremely challenging. We went with our mom. She was probably the only person who didn't get deathly ill. That's true. And I found it really, really difficult to work and be deathly ill at the same time. So India was troubling for me, a little bit hard. But most places we go to, whether it's good or bad, you leave with this this knowledge, you know, that what's happening here, you know, is important, but it's also important to understand what's going on in other places. So, and what Tegan was saying earlier about being activists, you know, it's important to go other places and realize that although you may be part of a sort of post-feminist, I don't know, tidal wave of privilege or whatever, there are places that people have no rights and have no voice, and it's amazing to go as people who have privilege and who have a, you know, like whatever we would complain
Really
about.
loud voice.
We have very loud voices, and to go somewhere where it almost seems like people don't have voices, you know, it being women or being queer or being a minority in any way, you realize like, holy shit, like it's you know, you realize the privilege that you have, and it takes going to those other places sometimes to make you realize that. So. All right, more questions? Yeah, right there. Yeah, you.
Cool. Oh wow, I thought I wasn't going to be one of these people, but you guys are amazing. Yeah, so I'm sure you spend a lot of time doing your music, but like, name another passion that you have in your life, you know, like something else that really, you know, gets you excited.
Awesome, nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. And the question was, name another passion. It was kind of like a demand. It wasn't even really. No, it's good. I liked it because at first I was like, what's the question going to be? And then I liked that you just like ordered me to tell you something because it popped into my brain right away. But I think our passion beyond music is still music related, and you know, that has become sort of mentoring other artists and also, you know, co-writing with other artists and being involved in the music industry in other ways. You know, we do a ton of charity work, and we also, you know, have a deep interest and passion in trying to change this business for the good. So I think we still spend a lot of time with our heads in this game, but we definitely have branched out. You know, it's the level we're at now has given us a lot of opportunity to throw our weight around every once in a while. So it's still music related, but I mean, we both are also avid readers, and we do a lot of traveling, and you know, Sarah recently has been spending a lot of time in New York writing and working, and she's really into like theater and Broadway and Charlie Rose and Scotch, and so we're pretty well rounded, I like to think. So thank you for the question. Yeah, right here.
Are we
Party. How did I know that question would come from this group right here? You guys have lost 2 of your members. It does happen when you drink too much. So, but are we partying? We're not huge partiers. I know it is Stampede, which is probably a very good reason not to party because there's so many other drunk people. Yeah, you should never walk down drunk alleys, Stampede or otherwise probably, but no, well, you know, it's our hometown, so we're gonna hang with some friends and family and enjoy our time here. We love Calgary, we're happy to be here, so thanks for the question. Yeah, right there.
I wanted to know what you guys felt about the NOFX song.
Well, the question is about NOFX and a song that they wrote. So, NOFX. NOFX wrote a song called Creeping Out Sarah. I'm Sarah. And I was creeped out. So it's a true story. Is that it? Next question. Yep, in the plan.